this out again. This whole live stuff. So, we got anybody in here yet? Whoop. Beginner. There we go. What's up, guys? Looks like there's 2 people in here now. Can you guys hear me? Let me know. Type it in the comment section. What is this below the comments? I can do emojis. Oh, that's a little thing to donate. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Cool. Oh, what's up, man? I figured I'd hop on here and do kind of a little live since I haven't put out a video last week. I injured my back pretty bad middle of last week or so, and I haven't really been able to get out in the garage and do anything. So figured better than nothing. I'll get on here and do some live streaming, answer some questions, stuff like that. So. And if these live streams get popular enough, maybe I'll do them frequently. But for right now, it's just kind of an alternative to interact with you guys a little bit, since I'm not able to get out in the garage a whole lot right now. But yeah. What's the weather like up in Vegas? It's kind of gloomy and rainy here. Got some 1320 on. We're in my living room now. The last live stream was in my kind of makeshift office, but I moved everything out here in the living room because I got some friends coming up visiting, so I'm gonna let them use the office as a bedroom. Sunny today, supposed to get ugly. Yeah, it's supposed to be kind of rainy here off and on all week too. It's kind of nice. I don't mind it. Better than blazing heat. But yeah, let me know if you guys got any questions. What do you guys want to see from the channel in the future? Some recommendations. See if I can get something done. The little update on the S10. I've got the trans tunnel all finished up. It's welded in, seam sealed, painted. I just got to get the transmission back in and get everything hooked back up. I'm probably going to do the rear bars coming out through the back window, which I previously said I wasn't going to do. I didn't want to do the rear bars, keep it kind of a street looking sleeper truck, but I'm going to try and go into the 9s, maybe even the 8s with this thing. So I might as well just get it done and do it now. So in the future, be doing the rear bars out the window. I still got to get the passenger seat mounted up and get the passenger side door bar in. I've also got a swing out door bar kit I got to get put on, and then I want to just tidy up, kind of go through the wiring some more on it, and then hopefully be able to make it out to LS Fest West in Vegas, which is in April this year. I think they moved it up a little bit. Normally it's in May. So that's the plan with the S10 is get it going in time for LS Fest. I'm hoping my buddy Noah with the boosted Silverado. It was in a couple of my videos. We were at the track together. It's like a 2011, I think. Black Silverado. He's supposedly supposed to be going to LS Fest too, so that should be a good time. Yeah, hopefully you'll be there and we'll be able to, do some photo shoots or something like that. I know you mentioned that you wanted to do that. Now, if in a perfect world, I would make the C10 drivable. Well, it is drivable. I could drive that thing to Vegas, but it'd be really cool to be able to hook a trailer to it and tow the S10 with the C10 to Vegas. But I don't know. I don't know if I dare pull a trailer with the C10. At least not without. At least not on the maiden voyage. But that would be cool to pull the S10 with the C10. Have a bag trailer with a bag truck. It's kind of cool. Also, I'm still waiting to hear from the winner of the giveaway for the lamp. It was Two Fat Guys Garage that won it, and I still haven't gotten an email from the person with their shipping information. So if you're watching, Two Fat Guys Garage, email me at robbyvgarage@gmail.com so that I can get that thing sent out to you. I can hear a tuner car of some sort pulling through the neighborhood, probably a V6 Mustang. All right, what are the other two people that are in the live stream doing today? There's 4 people now. We're up to 4. Hell yeah. I keep looking. I've got my screen here, so I got to look at the camera, not that one. But maybe if I move this over here. Cool. Don't mind I'm still doing a little bit of remodeling and stuff over there, so don't pay attention to that. Still got to touch up, finish cutting in some of the paint. For my videos, I'd use. Question was asked, what video editing program do I use? I use Premiere Pro. That's kind of the only thing I've ever used. I have a Mac, but I've never tried the iMovie or whatever it's called. I always had Premiere Pro, so that's what I use. But, yep. It's kind of a boring Sunday. It sucks not being able to go out in the garage, but gotta get my back feeling better. Oh man, I was just lifting something stupid, moved the wrong way, and been down for 3 or 4 days now. Sucks, but such is life. But yeah, any other questions? Anybody doing anything cool today? What's going on? Need to get some interaction going here. I'd play music, but it'd probably get me banned. Roxy, come here. Come here. Come here. See what she does. She keeps wanting to eat my medicine ball. Come here. Come on. Come here. She's like, yeah, right. She's comfy over there. She ain't getting up. Tim Webb, I lost all momentum from my build. How come, man? I know that feeling. I definitely have done that 2 or 3 times with the S10, believe it or not. Some days it's just hard to get out there and work. It used to be even harder when I worked on cars all day long. If you guys don't know the background, I was a GM technician for about 12 or 13 years or so in Utah, and that Derby, and I would work, 9, 10-hour days at the dealership, get off work there and go right to my other shop, start building Derby cars till about 11, 12, midnight, and then get up, do it all over again. Man, it burns you out fast. But cold weather, pain in my body. I feel that. Yeah, like I mentioned at the beginning, I basically pulled a muscle in my back 3 or 4 days ago, and I can barely move. I'm feeling a lot better today, but definitely it happens to me a lot. I've a special back brace, but Of course, stubborn, hard-headed me, I don't wear it as much as I should. But yeah, getting burned out, it sucks. Now that I don't wrench professionally all day long, it's a little bit nicer to come home and work on your stuff. You actually kind of get excited too. But I definitely understand how you can lose momentum, especially when it's cold. Yeah, that was one thing. When I was living in Utah in the winter, my garage just had a wood burning stove to heat it up, and you gotta go out there and start a fire, wait 2 or 3 hours just for the shop to warm up enough to where you can function in there. But same thing goes here. The heat sucks here. It doesn't really matter where you're at. You can find something to complain about, I guess. But yeah. Oh, like I said, I'm trying to get in a comfortable spot with this chair, but got me one of these. Looks like an orange, but it's a lacrosse ball for kneading in my back there. Helps a lot. Yeah. But yeah. Oh, someone needs to buy my C10 so that I can get me a trailer and stuff for the S10. I don't have enough room to park 3 trucks and a trailer at my house, so I need to get rid of something. Let's see here. Does it tell me who's on here? I don't know how to close this now. There we go. But anybody have any questions for me? Nothing, all 4 of you guys in here? It's kind of a random, spur of the moment live session, but like I mentioned earlier, I haven't put out a video all week because my back's been killing me. So I figured I'd do at least something. What's going on the TV back there? Cash days. Is the really better this time than the last live? Because it looks a little bit better. I think I had a bad connection or something in that room. Eddie wants to know what kind of work I do. So I don't know if you caught the first part or a little bit ago where I was a GM technician at a Chevy dealership, GM dealership, worked on all GM models for about 12 years. That was from high school till I moved to Arizona. 12 or 13 years, I can't remember exactly. And then once I moved here, I was doing like custom suspension and fab work. And then after buying a house on the other side of town, moving across town, the commute was just too much. I ended up finding out that there was a Speedway Motors here that just opened up last year. And come to find out, the manager for the retail side knew a bunch of my friends and some of my family from Utah through Demolition Derby. He was a big Demolition Derby guy in Nebraska. And we just started bullshitting, and he said he was hiring, so figured I'd apply. And so now I work for Speedway Motors just as a retail assistant or associate, basically selling hot rod parts, and it's awesome. I get to hang out with a bunch of cool guys and just talk car parts, basically. So it's pretty cool. Oh, what's up, Gas Techs? The new age cabinets in my garage. My honest opinion on those is they're great. Uh, I just I got those with the intention of having like not having my toolbox at my garage, so I was going to use it as like a toolbox setup. Now that I got my toolbox home, it's like I've got weight. It doesn't make any sense. But so they're just it's like junk starting to collect in there instead of like actually useful stuff. So the cabinets themselves are great. Um, I mean they're fairly expensive, at least in my eyes, for what they are. But I don't know. I hindsight, I probably wouldn't have got them. I probably wouldn't get them again. Honestly, they're a good product, but I just I don't know. You've got like 3 different sets of them now in your garage. Yeah. Yeah. More storage just means more stuff to collect. And I I don't know. I feel like I probably should have got the taller ones, the bigger ones, because that's kind of my limiting factor is the height on them. I wish they were just a little bit taller and a little bit deeper because I've got like a weird edge where my garage floor comes and then it steps up a little bit, and they're not deep enough to cover that step. There's like this weird like 4-inch step right there to a bar stool or a seat at the workbench. So I probably should have went with the higher end ones that are a little bit deeper and a little bit taller, but they weren't in my budget. I mean I was scraping just to get the ones that I got. Time for redesign soon. You're going to redesign your whole garage, or because I noticed you haven't put out a video for a while. You're taking a break. There for a while, you were doing a lot. Idea what a roller 351 Windsor block can hold power wise? No, I do not know. That's the wrong brand. That's a blue oval there. A roller 351 Windsor block, like just a block, or I honestly don't know. Person to ask for that question. It will hold as much power until it doesn't. Sorry, I don't really have a good answer to that. Probably 500-600 horsepower if I had to guess. I don't know. I don't know the Fords very well. Any engines or wheels for sale? Got an 86 Caprice Classic needing an engine. I don't. Are you local here in Arizona, Eddie? Comparing a small block engine 5.3 inch. Comparing a small block engine 5.3 and trying to check all options before changing. So do you already have a 351 in the car and you're thinking about switching to a 5.3? Yeah, I started back up Monday. Building going at once. Nice, yeah. I wish that I could kind of take my cabinets down and rearrange some stuff too now that my big toolbox is in the garage. I kind of want to redesign, do some layouts too, but I don't know if I'll get around to it. It kind of works the way it is, but we can always use more space. I could always use a bigger garage. All right, Tim. So you already have a 351, and you're thinking whether or not you should go to a 5.3. What kind of car is it in? I mean, I typically say LS swap the world. Everything's better with an LS in it. But I guess, yeah, it just depends on what kind of power you're looking for, and what your goal is with the car. If you want to make fairly good horsepower cheap, then the 5.3 is probably the way to go, because they can, respectively make 600 to 700 horsepower stock internals. I mean, obviously, Richard Holdner's been putting 1,000 to 1,200 horsepower on stock internals, but I think realistically and to be reliable, you could easily run 6 or 700 horsepower, no problem, with a stock LS. I don't know if a Ford could do that or not. A Windsor could do that or not. No doubt, LS me, baby. Man, drive all the way from Illinois for a freaking engine? It's a long drive. Probably just want to get out of the cold, huh? Let's see, what else we got here? Oh. So let me ask you guys this. What do you guys want to see more of from the channel? Is there something you guys like or less, or I mean, there's only a couple of you guys in the chat right now, but is there anything the channel is lacking? Because my stats are down. Trying to figure out this whole YouTube thing. I mean, they're still respectively up there, but that video I did of, what are you barking at? My S10 build in 10-minute video freaking hit some sort of weird algorithm and took off. It's got over 200 and something thousand views now. Let's see, content. Yep, it's at 220,000 views. That's just insane. But yeah, hey, what are you barking at? Come here. Come here. Get up here. Get up here. Doesn't want to. Oh. What are some other YouTube channels that you guys watch? I need some new channels and stuff to watch. gonna sneeze. God damn it, that hurt my back. Nothing? Nobody? Okay. Bueller. Move this down here. It's not gonna let me. Oh, here we go. PFI, like PFI Speed. Yeah, I'm subscribed to them already. Those guys are awesome. I'm not big on the. I'm not a big like car guy, but they do some pretty cool stuff still. Guru, that sounds familiar. I'll check him out. Thanks, Phantom, for the bless you. I hate now that freaking with all the crap going on, anytime someone sneezes, they look at you like you're a freaking mutant. You realize allergies are still a thing, right? I can still sneeze and not be freaking infected. Does anybody on here watch Boosted Lifestyle? He's doing some crazy stuff. He's got that Mustang with 8 turbos on it. I don't think I'm ever going to do that kind of stuff, but more power to him. And now he's building a miniature version of Leroy with like I think it's a 1000 CBR or Yamaha motor, bullet bike motor, making a smaller version of Leroy. That'll be kind of cool to see. I think he's going to twin turbo it and everything, put on a bullet bike motor. Let's see what else we got going on here. We should. Oh, does that tell me who is in here? No. Participants. Do. That's just crazy. Go big or go home. What are you referring to? Which part is crazy? Looks like Storm might be coming in again. Oh, I'm back. Come here. Come on. Up. Come here. Get up here. You don't want to be on camera. Oh, guys, my back. Oh yeah, the 8 turbos, 1 turbo per cylinder. I don't blame him. I mean, he's getting the clicks and the likes and the views from it, so more power to him. Phantom asks how the build's going. Well, as of right now, it's on hold because I mentioned I freaking pulled a muscle in my back, and I haven't really been able to do much lately. So, but I did get the trans tunnel finished up. it's all welded in, seam sealed, and painted. So I just got to get the transmission back in, all the parts and pieces put together, and do a few more bars on the cage so that we can go 9s, and hopefully get, because once you go 9s, you got to have the chassis certified, and you're supposed to have a license. So we'll see how far I can get without having to do that stuff. And then hopefully get to LS Fest West. Put this freaking ball on my back. Yeah. What we got over here? Some cash days going on the TV. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way to do some more videos for you guys. But this week, I'll hope to get back out in the garage and do a few things to the truck. But then I've got some friends coming visiting next weekend, so I don't know, might be a little while before I get another video out. That's why I'm this kind of live stuff here to at least give you guys something. I don't know, this is kind of boring, but trying it out, figuring out this YouTube stuff, I like this just because, you can kind of talk with people one-on-one, but it's also, let's see, what time is it? On a Sunday. I don't have my oh, there it is. I do have my cell phone in my pocket. Oh. 3:30 on a Sunday. I never did come up with a name for the truck. I'm too indecisive. There's too many good names, and I'm just too indecisive. I don't know. There's a lot of good names suggested by everybody, but there was never one that was just like, oh, that's it. So I don't know. I just gave up on it. Like I said, I've never really named vehicles before. The only truck I ever named was my, that camouflage retired Army truck that I had. And that's because it came with the name already on it. But I don't know. I've just never been one to name my vehicles. There's a lot of them that had to deal with the color of it too. And I didn't want to be pinned to that color because I kind of envision myself changing the color on that truck. I kind of want to either do a wrap or maybe even sand it down and paint it myself. I mean, that's something to do on the channel, more content and another skill to learn. But I do know from the little bit that I've done, like, because I sanded and painted the interior of the C10 and shaved and smoothed the firewall a little bit on my own. I do not like body work. Body work is not one of my fortes, but it would be kind of fun to do a paint job. If you guys haven't heard, or if you guys do follow Dane Thompson over on Burn Down YouTube channel, the dude does awesome work out of his garage. He's basically a painter, bodywork guy out of his garage at home, but he also has a YouTube channel where he's building his, what is it? Is it Chevelle? No. Malibu. It's a Malibu, duh. It's called the Malibu. It was just like a ratty old drag car, and this thing shut down, and he had a lot of time on his hands. He decided to paint it, and he did like a blue with really freaking gnarly big green and yellow flames on it. Thing looks awesome. Looks like a life-size Hot Wheels car. It's awesome. And he kind of inspired me to want to try and paint my truck. So probably won't do as flashy of a paint job, but I kind of want to do something with it. So long story short, I don't know where I got off on that tangent, but but yeah, check out Dane Thompson on Burn Down YouTube. Also, he's got a pretty cool build he's doing right now. Say I get my hands on a 5.3 or 6.0, what would be the best, or what would be a good setup for the Caprice everyday driver but minor quarter-mile pulls? Just do a good cam and get a stall converter to match it. And then the biggest thing is, like, these guys, a lot of guys will throw a cam in their 5.3, and it's like their daily driving truck, you know, and they, I want a cam, you know, I want that low P idle and this, that, and extra power, but they keep that stock converter in there, and it just eats up all the low end. It's a dog off the line until it finally gets up in the high cams. You take a fairly conservative motor and add a stall converter to where it works well with the RPM range of the camshaft, and it is night and day difference. You would think that you got another 150 horsepower, but it's just because you're able to use that low end power that the engine's producing instead of just stalling against the converter. But yeah, like Sean says, you know, a good cam. I mean, I don't necessarily think that it's worth searching out different heads for. The 706 heads that come on 5.3s are really good. By taking a set of 79 heads and putting on and taking the 706s off, you actually lose a little bit of power. The 799s flow better, but the higher compression of the 706s is more beneficial than the higher flowing 799. But yeah, just a cam, clean up the heads a little bit. You know, if you're feeling up to it, do a little bit of cleanup in the port works, you know, with the carbide bit or something. Don't go too crazy. There's a lot of stuff in there that doesn't need to be in there, but good cam, good set of heads, valve job, and you'll be around 3 to 350 horsepower at the tire, and that's plenty fun. I mill the 799, so yeah, take the 799s and you got better flowing head and you mill them down to be like a 706, yeah. Like the 5.3 in my C10 is just a comp cams, thumper cam. I think I got it years and years ago. And then I took the stock 706 heads and I poured and polished them myself. It's running the stock truck intake, and it dynoed around 320 horsepower in second gear. The guy that was tuning my truck wouldn't do a third gear pull; he would only do a second gear pull. So it was 320 in second gear, and that, I mean, you can kind of guess that that's around 340, 350 in third gear to the tires, and it's plenty fun. 350 horsepower is pretty good. Caprice might be a little bit, you know, it's a little bit heavier car, but I think you'll still have fun with it. Put in like a 3,000 stall converter, 2800, 3,000 stall converter, and you'll be on. The Blur. Yeah, that's a good name for it. If it was fast. I don't think the S10 is fast enough to be called the Blur. It's crazy. You watch videos and it just doesn't do it justice. You guys ever do that? You're in the vehicle or whatever, and it just feels like you're flying, and then you watch the video and you're like, what the hell? What's a stock TH400 good for power-wise? Um, that's built or stock on it. Um, they, I mean, to me, transmissions are ticking time bombs. It's not if, it's when they go out. But I've had turbo 400s last without, I pulled them out of a junkyard, threw them in a car. I was using them for demolition derby, but I had them last quite a while. It just depends on whether it's a new rebuild or if it really depends on the maintenance of the previous whoever had it before, if they maintained it well and didn't cook it or anything like that. But I bet see, turbo 400s were behind big blocks from the factory. You're probably good to 400 or 500 horsepower, 400 foot-pounds of torque or so. Let's see. Where's my mouse? There it is. Power glide if you want to make big horsepower. Yeah, if you want to go fast and have big horsepower, power glide is definitely the way to go. But not just the stock power glide. Phantom S10 asks what size turbo. What size turbo am I running? I have the VS Racing 7876 with the billet wheel. It's the billet wheel journal bearing, so it's like the middle one. Gen 1, I believe. I think I got it before the Gen 2 came out. But yeah, power glide would be nice. Trying to get my hands on a core so that I can eventually have one built. But so far the TH400 is working well. Power glide, just one less shift you have to make, one less thing you have to mess up. I like the turbo. It's only turbo I've ever had. This is the first turbo setup, anything turbo I've ever done. But in my setup, it works really well. It spools fast. I don't really have any turbo lag. I'm running 2.5 inch, hot side pipe to it, and it's a T4 housing, so, and then 3-inch out. But I have a really short, from the turbo to my carburetor, it's, not very long either. So no intercooler, just using the carburetor as a intercooler. So it spools fast. So far I've hit about 15 pounds of boost with it. I think those turbos are rated for about 700 or 800 horsepower is about where they start to run out. So it might be a little bit smaller than what I need in the long run, but for right now, I like it. I don't remember exactly what I gapped my rings to. I think it was around 28 thousandths, 28 or 30 thousandths. I can't remember the exact number off the top of my head. And surprisingly enough, on my catch can, I've yet to have any oil actually collect in my catch can. Like there's a little bit of residue and stuff in there, but I open the drain plug and nothing comes out. So I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Yeah, it seems like everybody says about 28 to 30 thousandths on them. I'll be honest, one or two of mine might be 32 thousandths. I might have got a little carried away with the ring filer. It happens. So we'll it's doing all right for now. Don't hook a cordless drill to your ring filer, even though they make that one powered one by Total Seal. But yeah, you gotta slow and steady when it's a race and that kind of stuff. Yep. Oh man. Blew two pistons with a blew two pistons on his truck with a stock gap, cracked both ring lines. Yep. That's what will happen. It's got to expand, got to have somewhere to go. Do. Speaking of Noah, we were talking about going to LS Fest. Looks like he's been having problems with his truck again, I guess. Looks like he's got back going again. He's had a hard time with tuners, getting guys to tune his truck. So hopefully this new guy gets it going again. Will you do a cowl hood? I would love a cowl hood. I would much rather have a cowl hood. And when I say cowl hood, I want the big freaking extension one that comes up to the windshield. I think cowl hoods are awesome. But I just haven't allocated the funds for one yet. I've spent my money elsewhere on other stuff. But yes, eventually I'll have a cowl hood on it. I'm not using an intercooler, Sean. Since it's carbureted, the carburetor kind of acts as an intercooler to some extent. You get a lot more charge cooling with a carburetor just due to the atomization and how it works. So as of yet, I'm not running an intercooler. I do plan on getting probably water methanol injection, though, to help. That was kind of one of the reasons I went with a blow-through carburetor setup, is just for the fact that I wouldn't have to run an intercooler for a while. Because S10s, there's not a whole lot of room. Plus, it's just more stuff to buy and more pipe to make and stuff like that. So I kind of went that way for that reason. No, I'm running race gas, like 116, I think it was. Yeah, I don't have E85. I'm not set up for E85. When I was first building this truck, it was just going to be a mild, I was only going to, as all the builds start, just going to build a mild truck, have something to have fun with, 6-7 pounds of boost, running on pump gas, just something to have fun with. And here we are. So when I first set up my fuel system, it was the pump and everything that I have is not compatible with E85. E85 is kind of spread out and sparse here too. Like not every station has it. So, I mean, we definitely have it, but it's not at every gas station. I think the closest E85 station to me is probably 15 or 20 miles away. But I'm supposed to have a hookup on some race gas here pretty soon, to where it's fairly still more expensive than E85, but about half the price of what race gas would be when you go buy it in those 5-gallon buckets. Just curious why you did choose carb over EFI. Basically, at the time, it was cheaper for me. Now the carburetor that I have it's gone up quite a bit in price, to where just carburetor's the same price as like a Terminator kit. I wasn't super familiar with the Terminator stuff either when I did it. Also, like I just mentioned, you don't have to run an intercooler with a carburetor, so it was just one less system that I'd have to build and figure out and buy the parts for. But main reason is just because I wanted to try it. I just had seen, the things on like Roadkill and Engine Masters and stuff like that, and I was like, I didn't know you could, run boost through a carburetor. I want to try that out. So I tried it, and there was a lot of people that told me that it will never work and it'll be a waste of time. So I kind of want to prove those guys wrong. So, I mean, there is some limitations to carburetor versus EFI. Mainly, I don't have that great any like data logger. I got to buy a separate data logger or something like that. It's all just me watching gauges and this, that, and the other. But if it worked, I saw it worked for what's his name, Billy, the S10 from Street Racing Channel. I mean, he's going really ridiculously fast on a blow-through carburetor setup. He's twin turbo, small block Chevy with a carburetor. So I just wanted to try it. Basically, I'm probably a little bit better with carburetors than I am with EFI. So it's just kind of what I know. Sean's on the east. Oh, you're on the east coast of Canada. I can't speak. Canada, Newfoundland. Nice. Carburetors will make more power on the track. It just depends. I mean, it really depends on who's turning the screws. So far, the carburetor has been flawless. Like, I literally took it out of the box, put it on the intake, bolted it down, set my fuel pressure with my boost reference fuel pressure regulator. So it's a 1-to-1 regulator, basically, because when you're cramming boost on top of a carburetor, it's going to pressurize the bowls. So you got to raise fuel pressure in order to keep the fuel flowing. Otherwise, it'll just deadhead and just stop flowing, and you'll run lean, run the bowls out of fuel. So I set up my fuel pressure regulator, ran my vacuum line to it, and out of the box, it was a little rich on the bottom end, but I just basically turned a couple screws. The idle was really rich on it out of the box. So I adjusted the idle mixture screws, and I tried to take a little bit of fuel out of the jets and ended up putting those jets right back in. And it's ran, I think it's like 12.6 to 1 now at 15 pounds of boost. So it's really been simple to figure out. That's how it all starts. I did the same thing. I'm building a street truck, turns full race truck. Yeah, the S10 was going to be a street truck. And when I bought it, it didn't have carpet. The seat was just set in it. The dash, it was all tore apart. The dash pad on it was destroyed from the Phoenix heat and the sun. It was almost like the guy was taking it apart to redo the interior on the truck and was going to replace the dash, and then figured out nobody makes replacement dashes for it, and I think he just stopped there. So the dash was already unbolted and it was just kind of sitting in there and just had a seat, no other interior. So it turned into a race truck. I pulled the dash out and got rid of the bench seat, and now it's a race truck. I do want to get some reproduction carpet put in there, just make it a little bit quieter, cut down on some of the heat inside the truck, because the few times I drove it to work once and drove it around town a few times, and it got pretty hot inside just because it's a big tin can. Yeah, Billy from SRC, that's who I was talking about. I mean, his truck's super fast on the street, but the what fuel pressure do you run VS typically versus the typical 58 to 60? So I run 6 to 7 psi, and then once it goes into boost, the fuel pressure regulator takes over that and it rises 1 to 1. So at 15 pounds of boost, it's adding 15 psi of fuel pressure. So basically it stays at that 7 to 10 or 6 to 7 psi all the time. It's just, it moves up with the boost. Let's see, any comments that I missed? No. So yeah, I just run basic carburetor fuel pressure, 6, 7 psi. What's your best ET? So far it's 1029 at 132 miles per hour, I think, or 34. I can't remember. Let's see, I'll go. I think I've got those. Where did I put those? I'll go grab them. Oh. Got my time slips right here. Let's see here. That's an 11.5. Yeah, that's the best one. 1029 at 132 miles per hour. There's a 10.7. There's a 10.5 and 11.3. So that was the last trip to the track. Let's see, it started out at 11.3 and then went 10.5, 10.7. There are those flip-flop. 644. Yeah. And at 11:45 p.m. finally went 1029 at 132 miles per hour. But geez. Hello. Trying to talk to these people over here. Anyways, the 1029 was way faster than I thought it would ever go. I thought with me trying to figure out the carburetor and the blow through, all that kind of stuff, that I'd probably be around 11, 10, 12 second truck. But now with as easy, because on that run, 1029, I was still fighting for traction off the hit. And I haven't adjusted suspension. I haven't messed with suspension at all. I've basically just got the tune where I liked it. So now I'm gonna try and get the launch better, get my 60-foot down, because I'm running. What was my 60-foot here? I think it was something spilled on here. I can't see it. I think it was a 165 60-foot. So I'll get my 60-foot and all that a little bit better, and this could easily be a high 9 truck. Be cool to get in the 8s eventually, but I don't know. 9. We'll start with 9s. Is the build just a fun thing to do, or looking to make a career of it? I don't really know how you make a career of it, but no, it's just a hobby. I've been building stuff my whole life. Like, I started out building derby cars, and then from that I built the rock crawler, and then the C10, now the drag truck. So I just kind of see something I like and I've got to build it. And right now it's a DS10 and drag truck, but I do want to do some like competitions and stuff like that, like actually compete, enter, competitions and do some stuff like that. And maybe not a career, but a definite like hobby, kind of like when I was doing demolition derby, like actually go around to some different races and different area and stuff like that, and meet a bunch of people, because that's really the fun part, is getting out to these events and meeting other people and competing and stuff. That's the fun part. Sitting in the garage by myself working on it's not the fun part. Although I make these videos for you guys and stuff, that's one of the fun parts, but most of the time it's just me sitting in my garage myself, and it's kind of boring. So I do want to get out and actually use the truck. But with that being said, the racetrack here, the one that I've been going to, Wild Horse Pass in Chandler, there's rumors that it's closing and going to be developed into a shopping mall like type thing. So like, someone had said that it's getting closed down to become a shopping mall, but yet the racetrack posted that it's just a concept, but they don't have any plans of closing. So I don't know what's going to happen here pretty soon. In the next year or two, we might not have a racetrack here anymore. Kind of sucks, because that's the only drag strip left here. I guess there used to be some other ones. What's up, man? Yeah, we're gonna have to let's hit the streets. William from Greaser Thoughts Garage is in the house. Yeah, I'm gonna have to learn how to street race, I guess. If they close down all the tracks, right? Let's see here. Oh, what size tire on the rear? I'm running 275 60 R15, the 275 Mickey Thompson Radial Pro. So it's like a 28-inch tall tire, 28 by 10. So what does the carb setup cost? I'm currently just a nitrous 6.0, but looking to branch it off into turbo world of the future build. So are you a carb? Are you already carbureted? Smart Aleck Fab. Are you already carbureted on your 6.0 with nitrous injection? Yeah, William. The Tucson Dragway does a no prep event every month or so. I'm gonna have to go try it out. Yeah, Sean's gonna run the same size, 275 60 15. Yep, that's kind of the most popular small tire. I just tried to fit the biggest tire possible back there, and it ended up being 275. Still on stock computer. You're probably nowadays with the Holley Terminator X kit, you can almost get set up that way cheaper than a carburetor, because when I got my carburetor and stuff, they weren't as expensive. They've gone up quite a bit in price. And I had a short block. So I didn't have an intake manifold. I didn't have anything. So I was going to have to buy all that stuff. So I went carbureted instead of the EFI, because all I needed was an intake and a carb and an MSD ignition. So you're probably the blow through carburetor, unless you can find one used for a good deal and can kind of clean it up, fix it up, you're going to be $1,000 just for a carburetor. And then your 350 or whatever the Holley intake is now. I can't remember what they are, 289, 300, somewhere around there. I can't remember what they are. And then the MSD is another about $300 to $350, to run the ignition. The MSD 6014 box, it works, but that's what I'm using. It works well. It has some limitations. It only has a 2.5 bar map sensor. So you're kind of limited with how much boost you can run with it. But it does do boost reference, it pulls timing based on boost, however you set it. Does a lot of neat stuff, but it is kind of limited. So if you're doing just kind of a mild, you're not going to go over 25 pounds of boost or whatever it is, then you could go that route. But you'd probably be cost efficient to do just the Terminator X and keep the EFI and do it that way. Because the Terminator X is like $1,000 now, $999 if you're running drive-by cable and no trans, like a non-electronic trans. And then you have all sorts of tuning abilities, and you have a lot more data mapping and stuff like that. I want to switch over to the Holley EFI, the Terminator, to run the ignition and all that kind of stuff, but keep the carburetor for now. See how many people I can piss off that way. Let's see here. Did I miss any comments? No. But yeah, stock computers are kind of, nowadays with Holley and everything that's coming out, stock computers are kind of lame. I mean, unless you're good with, what is it, EFI Live, or what's the other one? Trying to think of, drew a blank. HP tuners. Then the Holley stuff is just so easy because it's self-tuning and a little bit more user-friendly to tune with. I've yet to actually use one myself and actually figure it out, but just from everything that I've seen. Gold box is also good. I'm not familiar with that. What a gold box? Must be some sort of ECU. Same as the Holley, only more inputs and outputs. Who makes it? Gold box. Or is it a Holley, like a upgrade? Gold box. The LS Gold Box package. EFI source. The MS3 Gold Box is a powerful feature pack engine management system with budget-minded enthusiast. $1,590. Micro Squirt. Mega Squirt? Is that what that is? I'm not familiar with that. Oh, Mega Squirt. I've heard of that. Is that who makes it? Mega Squirt? Let's see. 2 nitrous. Yeah. Oh. Six one in the eighth. Let's see. That's yeah. I can't wait to get back out on the track though. Like I said, I need to sell the C10. So anyone want to buy the C10? So that I can buy a trailer, preferably an enclosed trailer, so that I can go to races in my S10. Someone buy my C10. It would be a 4-7 build a nitrous truck. It's just summertime fun. Thought I saw it outside the window. Just exploring options for a turbo setup for track only. Yeah, I mean, for a track only truck, if you want to be really competitive and have like and be able to talk to the other guys and talk and do all that stuff, what kind of boost can amp and this and that, then EFI is the way to go. If you're old school primitive caveman like me and just want to go have fun and go fast like Ricky Bobby, then carburetor will work too. But I think nowadays with the prices, because when I bought my carburetor, it was probably $300 or $400 less than they are now. They've gone up in the last year and a half or 2 years. But and I wouldn't be lying, or I would be lying if I said that, the S10 will never be EFI. There'll probably come a time when it's just makes more sense to go EFI, or I get to that power level or something to where the carburetor just doesn't hack it anymore. Or if I need to upgrade my carburetor, instead of buying another $1,000 carburetor, bigger one or something like that, then I may just switch to EFI. But like I said, I'm thinking about doing this, is getting the Holley Terminator system just for ignition, boost controller, all the inputs and outputs, the display, all those benefits, but keeping the carburetor and not running the fuel injection side of it yet, just to see what I can do with it that way. There's another guy here on YouTube that did that. His channel is called Six Snails. He's got like a 60s Nova that's been twin turbo blow through for quite a while. And he did that setup for a while because he was running out of map sensor on the MSD box like I have. So we upgraded the Terminator and was keeping it carbureted with the Terminator setup and seemed to be working well. But he just recently, I can't remember what made him want to switch, but he just recently tore the car down and is swapping it over to EFI 2. Phantom S10 asks how much? How much what? See if I can see down here. Trying putting a 99.57 Vortec into a 65 C10. Any idea the difficulty on doing it? And any recommendations on what harness to use? Are you trying to use the 99 Vortec fuel injection system on that engine? Or is the engine going into the truck is just the same as any small block V8? You'll need the V8 Chevy or the V8 motor mounts for the frame, and then it should just drop right in. But if you're trying to use the stock fuel injection with it, the 99 Vortec stuff that has that spider injection inside the intake manifold, then probably just go to the junkyard and get a harness for it, because I don't know if many people make an aftermarket harness for that. That fuel injection works for like a daily driver, but for performance, it's not a great setup. Oh, how much for the C10? If you're serious, send me an email and we can talk about it, but it's I've got a lot of money into that truck. I know I'm not going to get it out, all of it back, but if you're serious, send me an email at robbyvgarage@gmail.com. We'll talk about it. Speaking of emailing me, I still haven't gotten an email from the winner of the lamp drawing last week. Two Fat Guys Garage still needs to get a hold of me. He's the winner, but he hasn't sent me an email. So if you're watching or know the dude, let him know. Otherwise, I might have to pick someone else to give it to. I wish this told me who was watching, so I'm not like talking to someone who's left. Basically, for the C10, it's going to be more than $10,000 and less than $20,000. We'll just say somewhere in there. Let's make a deal. And time goes by fast on these live streams. It's already been an hour and 20 minutes. I'm not sure if Holley makes. Oh, okay? So you're going to put a Holley Sniper on the 5.7. Okay, yeah, that's doable. All you've got to do is get a carbureted intake manifold for Vortec 350, and then slap the Holley Sniper EFI on it. And of course, do your fuel system. You'll need if you buy the Holley Sniper EFI master kit, it comes with the fuel pump, filters, line, and everything that you'll need to do that. But yeah, when you get an intake manifold, it has to be for the Vortec. So the 96 and newer Chevy 350, that's 4 vertical intake manifold bolts instead of the let's see, 4, 5, 6, the 6 on each side. No, thank you, Tim, for watching and putting up with my awkward, boring talking to myself live stream. If you guys could do me a favor, hit the thumbs up thing at the bottom of the down here if you're on a computer. I don't know if you can do it if you're on like a TV watching. Hit the thumbs up button. I'm sure it helps in some sort of way. I have seen the Red Savage. I think it's changed owners a couple times. Maybe I'm thinking of a different truck, but yeah, it has changed owners because Billy from Street Race Channels raced it not too long ago, and I think they said it was a new owner, and I don't think it was running as fast as it used to. Yeah, no problem, Deftones. Thanks, Tim. What do we got going on? Still got some 1320 going. Fox body. Speaking of street racing, here's a little story from when I was younger. When I was about 19, 20, I had a 2003 Duramax. It was pretty souped up. I thought it was fast. Back then, there wasn't as much for them as there is now, but I had an Edge chip on it with a PPE programmer stacked, and probably why the transmission went out on me. But anyways, yeah, I welded the stock Allison transmission together basically in it, swapped it out for what was that? An ATS built trans. But anyways, back then, a bunch of my buddies had Honda cars and stuff. You know, Fast and Furious was real popular back then, and so we were in Orem, Utah, cruising up and down State Street, and my buddy had a Prelude, and we decided to, you know, he always wanted to race me, and I never would. I never wanted to street race, get in trouble, stuff like that. I ran it at the track once, and it ran flat, which is pretty fast for an 8. But anyways, so my buddy, he'd been bugging me all night. He wanted to run his Prelude against my truck. And so we finally hit a red light. We were side by side, and I was like, all right, I'm going to give it all it's got. I'm going to shut him up. And we took off, freaking black cloud of smoke behind the truck. Couldn't see any of the cars or headlights behind us. And I was pulling on. All of a sudden, I heard the sirens, and I looked back, and through this black smoke there was a cop, 2 cars behind me. And needless to say, big truck with a bunch of black smoke coming out of it is the more obvious one. So I get pulled over. My buddy, he cruises off, takes back streets, ditches, gets out of there, and I get pulled over. And my truck gets impounded because in Utah, street racing is an automatic impound. So truck gets impounded. I have to miss the next day of work because I don't have a truck, and I'm at my buddy's house and out of town. It was just such a mess. I had high risk insurance. It's stupid. So I kind of shy away from the street racing ever since then. So I don't know about being a street racer, but we might have to give it a shot if all the racetracks around here close down. See, the old owner truck was tuned by Joey Heichel, Beater Bomb. Beater Bomb, that sounds familiar. Heichel. Was he on one of the 10K shootouts? Sounds familiar. Joey Heichel. Didn't you guys watch those 10K drag shootouts on YouTube? I like them. Have you seen the most recent one, the no prep one? I didn't think that one was as good. I was really excited that they finally were going to build that S10 truck on the show because that was on, and Lyle Barnett's team picked it, but they got thrown the wagon. So on this season, I was really excited that that S10 was going to get built, and then they did that rear mount turbo, which I get it, trying to go viral and stuff with a rear mount turbo and be all crazy looking, but I wish I don't know, a little bit differently. He was in the second season, Fox Body Mustang he drives. I think I just saw, that's why it sounds familiar, the beater bomb, because I think I just saw that thumbnail for that video where he was in another video racing that car and all the faces were blurred out, but his voice was real familiar from the second, he was on the second season on the Midwest Mayhem team, right? I believe he's from Nebraska, which is where my boss is from, and he kind of knows him. Us with the 4A, yep, Midwest Mayhem. Yeah, the one guy on that Midwest Mayhem team, I can't remember his name, but he has the shop called The Shop. My boss actually knows him really, really well from working at Speedway in Lincoln, Nebraska. Yeah, I guess he used to come in there a lot, so it's kind of small world. Do 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 do. Yeah, 4 seconds in the eighth. That's pretty fast. He tuned the red S10. Joe Hunt. Yeah, Joe Hunt. That was real sad. Oh, he built all those. Kyle's Corvette, Unicorn, and Sketchy Vert. Well, if he wants, he can come here and build an S10. Oh. Oh, the owner of the shop. Yeah, Kyle from 1320, Nebraska boy too. And it's kind of funny. My boss's friend was the original owner of the 3rd gen Camaro that Cletus bought that's now called Toast. So he used to ride in that Camaro with his buddy, and now Cletus owns the car, which is kind of funny. Small world out there. I really want to go to one of the Cletus and cars too. I want to get out. So many things I want to do. We just need to get back to normal. Damn kids out there making noise. Well, dude, oh, I don't know if I can sit in this chair much more. My back, getting old sucks. Yeah, I also only watch YouTube, as you can tell. I've got it on right now, muted, but between the YouTube and Motor Trend app, that's the only stuff I watch. So watch a lot of the Roadkill. Roadkill Garage is one of my favorites. And then Roadkill and Faster Finnegan and all that kind of stuff. And then the YouTube channels. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it would be awesome to get out and enjoy some events this year, for sure. Maybe Rocky Mountain Race Week. Maybe. Got to get a trailer first. So I'm going to buy my C10. Hey, come here. I want to wake up. What else, you guys? I think my back's had about enough of this chair. I'm gonna have to go roll around on my medicine ball again and get this knot out. Only 5 cases? That's crazy. I think I've had more than 5 of my friends get it. But yeah, like I said, guys, I think that's going to do it for the live stream, because if you're just tuning in, I freaking pulled a muscle in my back earlier this week. That's why I haven't had a video out. I haven't been in the garage, so I figured I'd do a live stream for you guys. It's going on about an hour and 34 minutes now. But this chair's not being very nice to my back. So I think that's gonna do it. What's up, SR Kansas? You're getting it in just as I'm about ready to leave. See you later, Sean. Thanks for chatting. Building a 94 Dodge Ram project. Hope your build goes well. Thanks, dude. Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a lot more fun of a process having the channel and sharing it with you guys and reading all your guys' comments and stuff like that. So I really appreciate it, guys. And with that, probably going to close out the live session. And if you guys want, probably start doing these a little bit more often, maybe every other week or so, just kind of as an update, kind of get together and chat. But All right, guys. We'll see you later.